More than a century later, the sinking of the Titanic remains one of the most haunting maritime tragedies in history. The mere mention of it sends shivers down our spines as we contemplate the terror experienced by those on board that fateful night. The captivating tales of its passengers could fill many pages and continue to intrigue generations. Although the Titanic disaster feels well documented, fresh revelations and spine-chilling details still emerge, reminding us of the profound mystery surrounding that dreadful event. Dive in with us as we explore 10 of the most unsettling and lesser-known facts about the Titanic. Number 10. A graveyard of shoes. In 2004, a poignant photograph captured a pair of shoes resting side by side amidst the debris on the ocean floor at the Titanic's wreckage site. Made public during the centenary of the Titanic's sinking in 2012, the proximity of the shoes strongly suggests that they were once worn by a victim whose body has, over time, dissolved into the abyss. Renowned filmmaker James Cameron, who has ventured multiple times to the sunken ship's remains, has asserted that the human remains have never been spotted and likely won't ever be, due to the rapid disintegration of bones at such depths. All that endures as testament to the souls lost that night are remnants of their attire, personal possessions, and notably their shoes. The presence of shoes positioned closely together paints a haunting picture, likely marking the final resting places of those passengers who tragically didn't survive the disaster. Number 9. Confirmation of the Titanic splitting in two. In 1985, when Robert Ballard's research team finally located the Titanic's resting place, it provided a first glimpse of the sunken ship since its tragic descent. This monumental discovery resolved a long-standing debate that had persisted for 73 years about the ship's condition when it sank. The wreckage revealed that the Titanic had broken into two parts, vindicating the testimonies of many survivors that had been previously dismissed. Prior to this discovery, popular belief and even official records, such as the American Inquiry, asserted that the Titanic had remained whole when it met its watery grave. In an attempt to safeguard the image of the White Star Line, Second Officer Lightoller had confidently claimed the ship had sunk in an absolutely intact state. Notwithstanding his assertions, numerous survivors maintained that they had heard distinct explosion sounds and were adamant in their accounts that the ship had indeed fractured in two. While many of these witnesses hadn't visually observed the entire sinking process, their firm belief was that the ship had split apart. Ballard's discovery not only rewrote the official narrative of the Titanic's final moments, but also emphasized the importance of eyewitness accounts in piecing together historical truths. Number 8. The Wreck of the Titan. In a startling coincidence, Morgan Robertson penned a novel titled The Wreck of the Titan, or Futility, in 1898, which eerily mirrored the tragic events of the Titanic's sinking 14 years before the real-life disaster occurred. Robertson's fictional narrative revolved around the Titan, a massive ship in its inaugural voyage across the Atlantic, touted as unsinkable, which met its doom after colliding with an iceberg. Just like the real Titanic, the fictional Titan lacked an adequate number of lifeboats, leading to a significant loss of life. The uncanny similarities between the two stories led many to wonder if Robertson possessed some sort of prophetic vision. However, others believed his insights were a byproduct of his deep knowledge of maritime themes and issues, which he often explored in his writings. With the ever-increasing size of ocean liners during that era, and the inherent risks that came with it, including iceberg collisions, perhaps Robertson's story was an insightful cautionary tale. When quizzed about his seemingly prophetic writing abilities following the Titanic tragedy, Robertson simply stated, "I'm not clairvoyant, I just understand maritime concerns deeply." The convergence of fiction and reality in this instance serves as a powerful testament to the blend of foresight and expertise in Robertson's writings. Number 7. A resting bowler hat and half-filled glass. Explorers of the Titanic wreckage often recount the haunting feeling of encountering personal objects left untouched since their owners last used them. A particularly poignant example is the bowler hat of first-class passenger Henry Harper. It remains precisely where he placed it, in his closet alongside his coats, seemingly undisturbed by the ship's descent to the ocean floor. Similarly, in another cabin, a glass decanter and a half-filled water glass sit on a washstand, eerily untouched. The water glass's continued presence in its holder suggests that its last user had taken a sip and left it midway, and it remains frozen in that moment to this day. Number 6. A key could have potentially saved the Titanic. In a twist of fate in 2007, a seemingly ordinary key came to light when it was placed up for auction. This wasn't just any key, but one believed to unlock the crow's nest locker aboard the Titanic. Inside this locker were binoculars, crucial equipment that, had it been available, might have changed the course of that fateful night. Back in the early 1900s, binoculars played an essential role in ensuring ships' safety by helping lookouts detect potential hazards in the vast ocean. The key originally belonged to Second Officer David Blair. However, in a last-minute decision, Blair was taken off the Titanic crew list, and in the rush of his unexpected replacement by Charles Lightoller, he inadvertently retained the key. This oversight meant that the crew in the Crow's Nest had to rely solely on their eyesight. Historians and maritime experts have since debated whether having access to those binoculars might have allowed the lookouts to spot the looming iceberg sooner, possibly preventing the tragedy. The key, holding within its metal form a silent testament to a grim what-if, serves as a poignant reminder of how small oversights can lead to monumental consequences. Number 5. The first Titanic movie was released 29 days after the sinking. Dorothy Gibson, a renowned actress of her era, found herself in a uniquely challenging and emotional position. Within just a month following the tragic sinking of the Titanic, she starred in a film recounting the disaster. What makes this even more extraordinary is the fact that Gibson wasn't just portraying a character. She herself was a survivor of that fateful night aboard the Titanic. Initially, the traumatic memories of the event made Gibson reluctant to participate in the film, aptly titled Saved from the Titanic. However, her producers, seeing the potential for a box office hit due to the contemporary nature and inherent drama of the tale, persistently urged her to take on the role. Throughout the accelerated filming process, which spanned only a week, Gibson was visibly tormented. She frequently succumbed to her emotions, often breaking down in tears as the memories of that harrowing night resurfaced. Upon its release, the film was met with widespread criticism. Critics and audiences alike were taken aback that a studio would capitalize on such a recent, devastating maritime catastrophe. Moreover, the audacity of casting Gibson, a direct survivor of the event, struck many as not just bold but borderline insensitive. The controversy surrounding the film underscored the delicate balance between art, entertainment, and the realities of human tragedy. Number 4. A Violin and a Love Story. The haunting tale of the Titanic's band, playing courageously as the ship met its tragic fate, deeply touches many. Wallace Hartley, the ensemble's leader, wielded his violin in an effort to soothe panic-stricken passengers during the ship's final moments. Embracing the melancholic hymn, Near My God to Thee, Hartley's performance became a beacon of hope amidst despair. Tragically, he never survived that night, and 2 weeks later, his body was found with his cherished violin still attached to him. This wasn't just any violin. It was a heartfelt engagement present from his fiancée, Maria, which bore the touching inscription, "For Wallace on the occasion of our engagement." Decades later, in 2006, the violin re-emerged, discovered in an attic by a woman's son, encased and labeled with the initials WHH. Over the passage of time, this significant artifact had traveled through various households. By March 2013, meticulous verification confirmed its identity. It was the same violin played by Hartley on that ill-fated night aboard the Titanic. This instrument's poignant journey traces back to its recovery from Hartley's remains and its subsequent return to his devastated fiancée, Maria, who, overwhelmed by the loss, never tied the knot with another. Number 3. The iceberg may have been photographed. On April 15, 1912, the ocean liner SMS Prince Adalbert was on its voyage when something unusual caught the eye of the ship's chief steward. Glancing at a neighboring iceberg, he noticed a large red smear, resembling the mark left by a ship hull that had collided with it. He promptly captured the scene in a photograph. At that point, the crew of the Prince Adalbert remained unaware of the Titanic tragedy that had just unfolded. Accompanying the photograph, the steward penned a note. A day after the Titanic met its fate, our ship, the Prince Adalbert, sailed past the iceberg depicted in this photograph. We were still oblivious to the Titanic's tragic end. The iceberg had a conspicuous red mark, which looked as though it had been left by a ship scraping against it. Number 2. A frozen pocket watch. Among the passengers aboard the Titanic, 13 pairs were newlyweds embarking on their honeymoon. One such couple was John Chapman, age 37, and his 29-year-old bride, Lizzie. Freshly married, they had dreams of starting a new chapter in the United States. As the ship began to sink and lifeboats were being filled, Lizzie was guided into Lifeboat 4. However, she soon realized that her husband wasn't permitted to join her. Declaring, "I won't go either," she bravely chose love over safety, stepping out of the lifeboat to reunite with her husband on the sinking ship. The couple's love story took a tragic turn when, like many others, they were engulfed by the icy waters of the Atlantic. In a haunting testament to the exact moment of their demise, Mr. Chapman's pocket watch froze at 1:45 a.m. on April 15, 1912. While John's body and his poignant timepiece were later recovered from the deep, Lizzie's remains were sadly never found. Their heart-wrenching story serves as a testament to the unwavering bonds of love, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. Number 1. A cancelled emergency drill. In a twist of fate on April 14th, the very day the Titanic met its fateful encounter with an iceberg, there had been plans for an emergency lifeboat drill. Unexpectedly, for reasons that remain shrouded in mystery, Captain Smith decided to cancel the exercise. Had the drill taken place, it could have potentially changed the course of that tragic night. Passengers would have been better equipped with knowledge on how to evacuate swiftly and efficiently, ensuring more lives could have been spared. Furthermore, the crew might have demonstrated improved coordination and direction, ensuring lifeboats were filled to capacity and deployed in an orderly fashion. This missed opportunity highlights the importance of preparation and drills in crisis management, and serves as a somber reminder of the price of unpreparedness during critical times.